In bygone eras, American households were equipped with a distinctive array of appliances that reflected a time when manual effort and ingenuity were integral to daily tasks. In this exploration, we'll detail some of these vintage appliances that once played an important role in American homes. Hand-cranked coffee mills. Hand-cranked coffee mills, also known as manual coffee grinders, were typically made of wood or metal. They featured a handle that users turned to grind coffee beans, allowing them to control the grind size manually. Before the widespread availability of electric coffee grinders, individuals would use these manual mills to grind coffee beans for brewing. The process required physical effort and allowed for a customized grind based on personal preferences. Mangle or clothes wringer. Mangles were devices with two rollers that helped squeeze excess water out of freshly washed clothes. Clothes were fed through the rollers, facilitating the removal of water before hanging garments to dry. Used in conjunction with washboards and hand-cranked wringer washers, mangles made the laundry process more efficient by expediting the drying stage. They were especially valuable in the absence of electric clothes dryers. Manual can openers. Manual can openers had a simple handheld design with a rotating handle. Users would turn the handle to operate a cutting wheel that pierced and cut through the lid of canned goods. Before the convenience of electric can openers, households relied on manual can openers to access canned foods. This essential kitchen tool required a bit of effort, but was a common sight in kitchens across America. Crank handle egg beaters. Crank handle egg beaters featured rotating beaters attached to a handle. Turning the crank handle operated the beaters, making them a manual alternative to electric mixers. These egg beaters were a staple in kitchens for tasks like beating eggs, whipping cream, or mixing batters. They allowed for precise control over mixing speeds and were often more accessible than electric counterparts. Percolator coffee makers. Percolator coffee makers consisted of a pot with a vertical tube. Water at the base would be heated, and the brewed coffee would rise through the tube and percolate back down. Before drip coffee makers became dominant, percolators were a common sight in kitchens. They provided a distinct brewing method, and the sound of percolating coffee became a familiar morning ritual. Wooden washboards. Wooden washboards had a flat surface with ridges or grooves. Clothes were rubbed against the washboard to remove dirt and stains during the hand-washing process. Before the widespread adoption of washing machines, washboards were essential for laundry. They were particularly effective for scrubbing heavily soiled clothing items. Oil lamps. Oil lamps were lighting devices that burned oil to produce light. They typically consisted of a reservoir for oil, a wick, and a glass chimney to protect the flame. Before the advent of widespread electricity, oil lamps provided illumination in homes. They were used in various settings, from everyday lighting to creating a warm ambience. Hand-cranked ice cream makers. Hand-cranked ice cream makers had a cylindrical container for the ice cream mixture. Users turned a handle to rotate the container, churning and freezing the mixture. Making homemade ice cream involved a delightful manual process with these devices. They were popular during gatherings and summer celebrations, offering a fun way to create frozen treats. Manual carpet sweepers. Manual carpet sweepers had rotating brushes and a container to collect dirt. Users pushed the sweeper across carpets to pick up debris. Before vacuum cleaners became commonplace, manual carpet sweepers were used for quick and efficient cleaning of carpets and floors. They were especially handy for small messes. Clothes pegs or clothespins. Clothes pegs or clothespins were simple clamping devices, often made of wood or metal, used to secure wet laundry on a clothesline. Essential for drying clothes outdoors, these pegs held garments firmly in place on the clothesline. They prevented clothes from falling and facilitated even drying. Manual pencil sharpeners. Manual pencil sharpeners were handheld devices with a rotating mechanism. Pencils were inserted into the sharpener, and users turned a handle to sharpen the pencil. Found in schools, offices, and homes, manual pencil sharpeners were indispensable for maintaining the sharpness of pencils. They were a familiar sight on desks and in classrooms. Vintage manual appliances were a testament to a hands-on era, fostering an intimate connection with household tasks. Today, their detailed descriptions evoke nostalgia for a time marked by craftsmanship and the joy of simple, manual activities.